Hey guys, you may not have taken this seriously when I said it before, but I have said many times, on this channel, I do not cater to the stupidest 10% of my audience. I really don't. If anything, I try to cater to the most intelligent 20%, maybe 40% when I'm feeling generous. I mean, there is a very overt elitism to this channel and what it's about. People send me email telling me what my audience supposedly wants to hear, and they're talking about the stupidest 10%. I'm sure that the book review I put up on the weekend, book review of a very interesting, worthwhile book dealing with ecology and habitat conservation and the future of planet Earth. That book review may not be as interesting to you as yet another video that's dishing dirt or exchanging insults with one of my fellow vegan YouTubers, but that is not what this channel is about. That's not what this channel is going to become, no matter how much dirt is out there, or no matter how much micro fame or micro money I could make by engaging in that kind of stuff. It's not what the channel's about. It's not what it's going to turn into. So I don't cater to the stupidest 10% of my audience, and the stupidest 10% definitely includes Durianrider himself, and anyone who at this stage is foolish enough to believe the allegations he makes up. Let's start with the word millionaire. I would challenge you guys in the comment section. Let's get a game going here. How many people can you name? How many people can you remember who have been denounced for being a millionaire by Durianrider, by Mr. Harley Johnstone? How many? Offhand, I remember he said many, many times that Henya's parents are millionaires. We've seen the home that Henya's family lives in on her YouTube channel, and Henya herself, most of the time, still lives at home with her parents. Not all the time, but a lot of the time, she's at home with her parents. Do you believe Henya's parents are millionaires? Do you believe that this allegation or insult, if it is an insult, it's not bad. It's not bad to be a millionaire. It's not bad to be born rich. Vegan movement needs more millionaires. I hope more millionaires sign up. I hope, Elon Musk, I hope Bill Gates, I hope they all become vegan. It'd be wonderful for the movement. I don't have a problem with people being millionaires. Henya Mania's parents are not millionaires. My parents also are not millionaires. And the allegations are equally credible in both cases. I forget actually, with Jason, I think Durianrider claimed that Jason himself was a millionaire, not that Jason's parents were millionaires. I'm not sure. But the list of people whom he has reproached for being a millionaire is quite long. And I would suggest to you that the insult is equally credible in all cases, which is to say it is not credible at all. How many people has he called a sexual predator? Back when I was first going through it, a lot of people sent me email mentioning past examples that I couldn't remember myself or I didn't know about, because I'm not a fan of Durianrider's channel. I don't watch his videos. And some people have been, talking to Durianrider online, following his career for many, many years. So they know of many more examples than I do. How many people has he called a sexual predator? Can we make a list? Can we get in the comment section how many examples there are? Now, each of those examples, I would like to suggest to you, is equally valid, by which I mean not valid at all. It has as much credence in my case as it does in one of those other cases. How many people has Durianrider reproached or insulted for being an anorexic, or, and here's a great piece of vocabulary, being an anorexic or an eating disorder person? He doesn't always use it as an insult, but quite a few people he has put these charges to. Again, whether or not that really should be an insult is another matter, but he certainly does use it in an insulting and denigrating way to dismiss people and say they're not real vegans, or they're not involved in veganism for the right reasons, or to dismiss their criticism of his diet plan, or what have you. Shill, S-H-I-L-L. Shill is a word that's not very commonly used, but Durianrider uses it all the time. It's worth thinking about this allegation of shill, why he says it about me so many times, and why he never backs it up. It's a very specific accusation. If I'm a shill, it means I'm working for the other side. It means I'm actually employed. I'm actually paid to be a representative of the meat and dairy industry, or somebody, something. If I am a shill, why is there no evidence of this? Durianrider keeps coming with what he thinks is embarrassing or shocking evidence. If you read my old blog, I had a blog about veganism before YouTube channel. You're going to find, you might say that I'm obsessed with veganism. You might say that I'm obsessed with ecology. You might say that I'm obsessed with Cambodia, Sri Lanka, human rights, various civil wars. There are articles on that blog about marijuana use and alcohol use and why you shouldn't use these drugs, you shouldn't smoke marijuana, shouldn't drink alcohol. There's a lot of stuff that's consistent with the material on this YouTube channel. There are a lot of discussions with other vegans, and there's some joking around. Does anything about that blog suggest to you that I'm a shill, that I'm actually employed by Monsanto or anyone else, anything on this YouTube channel? And again, do you want to make a long list in the discussion below this video? How many people has Durianrider accused of being a shill? I would say again, in every single instance, this has been an equally valid accusation, equally valid allegation. It has had absolutely no validity, not even in one case. Is there even one example of Durianrider accusing someone who was a shill and backing it up, and the person actually turning out to be a shill? Some people are shills. Back when I did politics at City Hall, I met people who were shills. There were people who would be, for example, a shill for the energy industry, for the power generation companies, from the companies that would make profit from laying new power lines, the companies that would make new profit from installing new infrastructure for sewage. There were people who were shills. That really was their job. They were a shill for the power industry, what have you. And they went to City Hall to, give depositions to City Hall that represented the interests of those companies, how those companies wanted to make more money, or what they wanted to install, or what their concerns were. There were, and also we don't normally say it, but there were shills for organized labor. I remember a guy giving a very passionate speech, and he was representing the cleaning staff at City Hall, people employed to mop the floor. He was a shill for organized labor. Doesn't mean he's a bad guy. That's just his job. That's what he's paid to do. He goes to that meeting and he speaks to the government representing that interest. It's a real allegation. Am I a shill? If you make a list of even 5 or 6 of the other people he's called a shill, any validity to it? How about fake vegan? Fake vegan, and one he doesn't do as much anymore. He used to always accuse me of drinking alcohol. And a sign of how little credibility he has. Does anyone believe I drink alcohol? If you search for the word alcohol, or there's another good video, search for the word cocaine on this channel. I've talked about drugs and alcohol use again before I even had a YouTube channel back on my blog. I could give some links to old blog entries talking about that stuff. Does anyone believe Durianrider's allegation that I drink alcohol? And if not, if you don't believe it, why do you think that any of the other allegations are any more credible? Why would any of them be more valid than his making up stories about my drinking alcohol? We had this event back in Chiang Mai. We had the event at the karaoke place. And Durianrider insulted me again and again by saying that I was getting drunk and drinking alcohol there. Does anyone believe it? Does anyone think that's credible? Now he makes up allegations that I threatened him at a mystery event, I think at a bar again, to other vegans. Nobody seems to believe it. He keeps inventing allegations out of thin air. Nobody takes them seriously. And yet you guys think this is like a crisis for me to address, that he's rehashing the same imaginary nonsense from 4 or 5 months ago. There's not that much difference between the lies he was telling then and the lies he's telling now. So, do I drink alcohol? Why don't you put in the comments below, how many people has Durianrider called a drug addict or an alcoholic or a drinker? How many? Offhand, obviously Vegan Gains is one right now. Does anyone believe Vegan Gains? I think Vegan Gains talks about exactly his drug use. I'm completely a teetotaler. And years ago when I first talked to Vegan Gains, I remember it was one of the things we talked about was my anti-drug attitude in contrast to his attitude. But in all cases, these allegations are equally valid. They're equally just made up and malicious and what have you. Fake vegan. How many people has he called a fake vegan? Long list if you want to include that below. How many people has he called fat? He's called me fat. Sorry, the lighting's not that great. What do you think? So my gym is closed right now for 7 days. Gym is closed for renovations. Fat enough for you? If I go to a DEXA scan, I may be 30% body fat. I'm 37 years old. This is not the meaning of life for me. I'm quite happy with my level of physical fitness. I'm 6'3", 100 kilograms. My life has a lot more to do with, Things like learning Chinese. Sorry, I'm not going to bother holding up. I spent hours and hours studying languages, studying politics, studying history. I'm not an athlete. I'm not selling you a diet book. Although compared to many followers of Durianrider at this point, I could claim to sell you a diet book. I'm in a position to do so. How many people has he called fat? I'm an example. Again, you can make a list. How many people has he claimed were on steroids? For some reason, he's given up on those allegations. They're out of fashion for him. But one of the first things he ever said about me publicly was that I was on steroids. He said that many, many times on his Tumblr, and I have screenshots, and the screenshots have been included in some videos here on this YouTube channel. And of course, I just laughed at it. You think these results are from steroids? Look, I'm all natural, and I never thought it'd be something I'd have to boast about or something I'd have to prove. My teeth are real too, people. There's nothing fake about me. All right? How credible is it that Durianrider has claimed repeatedly that I'm on steroids? If you want to make a list of how many people he said are on steroids, it's a long, long list. Finally, we get into these more vague characterizations of being a manipulator, of being manipulative. I would challenge you guys to really think about what that means. Given everything I've just told you, there's a very real sense in which it is a self-evident truth that Durianrider himself is a manipulator. He is being manipulative precisely by lying in these ways. But when someone like Durianrider or someone like Joe Best accuses another person of being a manipulator, you have to think seriously about what that really means. What is the nature of the allegation? What does it mean when Joe Best says that Henya is a manipulator? I mean, she's lying to you about eating bread. It's just nonsense. You know, Durianrider, how many people has he called a manipulator or manipulative? Again, look at the allegations he made against Jason Pizzino. They just don't make sense. Jason Pizzino is selling t-shirts. Therefore, he's a corporate shill. Therefore, he's part of a conspiracy. All of these accusations and allegations have equal validity, okay? I do not believe in the slippery slope thesis. I wanted to make a video for some time about that, the concept of the slippery slope thesis. But I do believe in the boy who cried wolf thesis, okay? Durianrider has made one false allegation after another, again and again and again. And for the most intelligent 40% of my audience, he has lost all credibility, and there is no need for me to waste your time responding to those allegations. The idea that I'm a millionaire, or the allegation that I'm a sexual predator, or the allegation that I'm a shill working for the meat and dairy industry, or the allegation that I'm on steroids, they're all equally valid. They're insults and nonsense made up out of thin air. And if you really haven't figured that out, I mean, I apologize. It's possible this is the first video you've ever seen on the topic. You don't realize that this has been going on for years, that this has been tearing the vegan community apart. It's not even a community. It's been precluding vegans really working together, really getting organized, really forming a movement or a plurality of movements. It's been preventing our political progress. It's had tremendously harmful effects in every way, in terms of diet and nutrition advice, but in terms of real political activism also. This has been a poison and a cancer at the heart of the digital vegan demimonde, and it has all kinds of knock-on effects in real life. It has knock-on effects for me in my legal situation, my divorce, the fact that I'm in court in Thailand right now. I don't want to be doing this with my time. I have better things to do. Some of you say, wouldn't I prefer to be, running an animal shelter or, running a political lobbying group or taking the money and putting it into an animal shelter or political lobbying group? Yeah, sure. There are a lot of things I'd rather do with my time or money, but I don't have a choice. I didn't choose this. Contrary to some, again, lies during this, I didn't create this drama. He did. I'm dealing with the consequences. Okay? But I can't cater to the dumbest 10% of my audience, because then this whole channel would turn into stupidity. Those of you who have been smart enough to figure it out, I hope you stick around. I hope you keep watching my videos. I hope you watched the video I put up a couple days ago, this book review talking about ecology, habitat conservation, politics. I hope some of you have interest in building, a real movement in the future, engaging in real community activism, really saving the planet. I hope some of you are motivated by that. Because if you're motivated by seeing people insulting each other back and forth, responding to ridiculous made-up allegations, whether it's ridiculous stories about my divorce or ridiculous stories made up about my parents or anything else, but people who don't know me, who don't know any of the people involved, who have no source of information, or stories about my sex life, that can't be the future of the movement. I'll say something before. I'm not even saying it shouldn't be the future of the movement. I'm saying it can't be. There is no future in that.